Perfect. Let's do this. So now I'm
All
going to go on
right.
YouTube channel. Guys, if you want to catch this replay, please be sure to watch my YouTube channel later on. And I'm streaming this live. I'm going to showcase you as well. I'm sharing the screen. You can see yourself as well on YouTube. And I know a lot of people are going to be asking questions. Hold on your thought. We're going to go through this for 20 minutes or so. We're going to share our thoughts when it comes to 3 ways of putting yourself in 2023, and I'm going to invite you on a stage as well so you can ask questions, you can share your thoughts and anything that you missed out on it. Today we have a guest, Jasmine Escalera, and you know what, she's a confidence coach, career coach as well for women of color. She's going to go through 3 ways of putting ourselves first in 2023. And any questions you have, you can put it on the YouTube chat as well, and we'll take it up from there. Jasmine, floor is all yours.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm going to drop the first gem on y'all. So definitely get your notebooks and pens out because this is going to be a good one. So Sweta, I don't know if this is you, but this was definitely me very early on in my career. I didn't feel comfortable putting myself out there and building a professional community or networking. And I attribute that a lot to being in a very competitive white male dominated workspace where I didn't feel like I could bring my authentic self into the space. And so networking for me didn't feel like something that was comfortable. I didn't feel confident in showcasing myself and my value. But beyond that, culturally, I was brought up to just kind of put your head down and hustle, get the work done. I remember my parents even telling me that when I stepped into the workplace, it was going to be important to prove myself. And I thought that proving myself truly meant doing work, not necessarily utilizing connections. And so in 2023, the number one thing that I want everyone to do is get uncomfortable by getting comfortable building your professional community, to really take the time to hone and think about what is it that I'd like to achieve during this year, and how can I set a networking intention or purpose for my networking that will help me to achieve that specific goal. And if I were going to set that intention of achieving that goal and using my network or professional community to help me get there, what would I do? How would I use the people that I already know and have in my space? How would I reach out to individuals to actually be able to talk about my goals, talk about what I want to achieve? And then also, how would I cultivate a new or grow a new community to be able to also help facilitate those goals that I have? So truly, the number one way I want you to put yourself first is to truly start the networking. And if you are doing it, then I definitely want to hear from you, because I want to hear about how networking has helped move your career forward. I want to hear about how you do it and how you enrich your networking experience, because we all need to share and support one another and show one another that networking truly is the way to build the career you want your way. And that truly is putting yourself first, building the career you want your way. So Sweta, I'm curious to know about networking, and what are your thoughts on networking? And also, have you come across this feeling of being uncomfortable networking, and did you have any tips on how you overcame it?
Absolutely. That's a great one, right? We talk about networking, and when we go to colleges and university, no one teaches you. Even in corporate world, I've worked all my life and now I am no longer part of it. No one actually tells you what's the right way to network and what's the wrong way to not network, right? And that's something that we actually do it and see what works for my kind of personality. I'm an extrovert. I'm type A personality, and I would just go out and talk to anybody. Talking to anyone is not a problem for me. But then sometimes, I got to make sure that I'm using the right approach as well when it comes to networking. Such as, for example, what I've done all my life is, okay, let me just talk to anybody. And that did not work for me at all. And in corporate life, what I did was I started talking to the people who can influence anything that, I wanted to get it done. So I started listening more, and I have an issue, right? And I'm like, I'm very bad at listening sometimes because I want to put my thought across right away. But then I started putting myself into the listening mode, which is 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the time I'm listening and 20% of the time I'm asking questions. And it helped me a lot to understand who are the people in that table board meetings that they're going to listen to me and they're going to get it done, and who are the people who are nodding when they're talking, and I know they are biggest influencer for things that I wanted to actually have them do it, right? And that really worked the wonder for me. I think it starts from listening. It's not about me anymore when it comes to networking. It's all about what do they want? How can that, how can they help them? What are your thoughts on that, Jasmine?
Oh, I love everything that you said there. There were two things really that I want to call out that I think are so valuable. And you kind of mentioned, I'm an extrovert, I'm that type A personality. I can go out there and I can talk to anyone. And I would say that I'm actually the reverse of that. I get really uncomfortable putting myself out there. I would totally consider myself an introvert. I can be very extroverted, but then it'll take me about a week of sleep to like build off of that because it's a lot for me. So I think the most important thing that you mentioned is like do it in the way that makes you feel comfortable, right? To start in the way that makes you feel comfortable. So for me, I love building intense, deep connections, but I don't have a lot of intense, deep connections. But those connections that I do create, I cultivate with such fierceness. And so what I like to tell my clients that are introverts or feel a little bit uncomfortable when starting out the networking is focus on your inner circle. Focus on the people who know, like, and trust you. Focus on the people who know you and you feel most comfortable with. It's like the low-hanging fruit. And this is the best time of the year to do this, to reach out to the people that you feel good about in your network and just to say, hey, I have these few 2023 career goals. I'd love to discuss them with you. I'd also like to hear what your goals are. And perhaps we can support each other throughout the course of this year to make sure we're moving our goals forward. And even just doing that low-hanging fruit activity will make you feel good and confident to start stepping a little bit out of your boundary. So it's just a matter of starting where you feel good and comfortable and what aligns with your energy, knowing that that is actually going to push your boundary further and further and further so that you will start to feel better and more confident about reaching out to people, maybe potentially you don't know or don't know as well. So I love how you said, this is the way I do it because it's my personality. You should match the things that you do and your actions to the person that you are and to your energy, knowing that by just doing it, you will grow. And the other thing you mentioned is listening. Networking is all about listening. It's all about listening to the other individual. And especially if you're networking to try to find opportunities eventually, or to try to learn about new jobs or opportunities, it is all about listening. You are listening to understand and hear the problems that the other individual or company or organization are having. And then you have the opportunities to start talking about how you solve those problems or how you can support those individuals or even just giving your ideas. So a lot of times people will say, well, I don't want to network because I don't have anything to offer. But Sweta, you actually said it right. If you just listen and you spend 80% of the time listening, then you will have a multitude of different things that you can offer because you're listening for the challenges, the problems, what might be going on, and you're offering some kind of guidance or support based off of your experiences and what you've done. So I love everything that you said there. It was absolutely spectacular. And I just wanted to reiterate those two key points.
That's amazing. So what's your second thing? How should one put themselves first in 2023? I'm truly excited to hear the second one. Hey, wait for a minute. There are like more than 90 people listening and they're dropping down. Like there are probably over 400 drops in already. This is amazing. I'm going to go back to the audience right now and ask them, are you liking this right now? If you're liking it, I am streaming this live on YouTube channel as well. Give me heart emojis and share this, tweet it, so people can come in and watch this on YouTube as well. Put our YouTube channel as well. So if you want to share, you know what, I think people need to hear it. People don't talk about this, and audio replays are not available available on LinkedIn at all, but I'm streaming this on YouTube channel. You can go and watch the replay and share our YouTube channel as well. And I see people hand raising up. Hold on, have some patience. We will bring you because we definitely want to hear from you. Jasmine, let's go with the second one.
Absolutely. So the second thing that I want to mention is if we are going to be putting ourselves first, then we need to know what we actually want our careers to provide to us. And so the second thing that I will say is that at the end and at the top of a year, it is such a great time for reflection. And the way that you can put yourself first in 2023 is stop for a minute. I know we are all go, 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 and action oriented, especially at the start of a year. We have so many resolutions and so many things that we want to do, but I want you to be intentional with the actions that you take. I want you to take a stop, a pause, and reflect and ask yourself a few questions about what you want your career to provide to you in this year. And not just that, we sometimes put our career in a vacuum. We sometimes put our career in this box and we think we work it 9 to 5, we leave it there, and that's it. But your career is a part of your life, and your career is the vehicle for the life you want to live. It provides you the income to do the things you want to do, the time and the peace of mind to have the life that you want. And so I want you to think about not just what do I want my career to provide to me this year, but what kind of life do I want to live? And how can my career support that? What kind of boundaries do I have to set in my career in this year to have the life that I want? What are some of the things that I want my career to provide to me so that I can actually live the life that I want outside of it? Am I going to have to ask for that raise? Because I'd really love for this year to be the year that I buy that home, that I buy that investment property? Do I want to set more boundaries around my time in my career because I want to spend more time with family or spend more time tending to my wellness and my health? So think about how your career and your life really truly match together, and give yourself that time and that space to reflect on the life you want to live, how your career can support that, the career goals you want to have, and even the boundaries and the things that have to happen within your career in order for your career and life to truly match and mesh. So, Sweta, I'm curious to know about your feelings around, your career, your life, how those two things come together, and really the reflection that goes into putting yourself first.
I don't think I have anything to add, to be honest. And I think when it comes to career and like what I'm feeling, I'm not there because I've left the corporate world and I don't think it applies to me. And I feel like right now I am thinking of, hey, you know what? My number two from my side I'm thinking of is, how do I say no to things without feeling really guilty as a self-employed individual? I don't want to say yes to everything, because as soon as I say yes to something that I don't want to say yes to, I'm saying no to certain things, right? So I don't want to feel guilty anymore. I want to feel proud about it when I say no. And I think it's been difficult saying no without feeling really guilty. And that's going to be my strategy in 2023. I want to put myself first. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh my God. Well, you're speaking to another business owner. So I totally get where you're coming from right now. Yeah, I think it kind of feels very similar to me, where at the end of 2022, I really started to ask myself, what kind of life do I want to have? And what does that mean in terms of building a business? Because I really do want to be able to travel. I want to be able to feel light. I want to be like you, able to say no to the things that aren't serving me and yes to the things that I'm truly excited about. And so, yeah, I think it's almost kind of like a different way to look at it and a different lens. But, we really should be thinking about what is it that we want to do in terms of this life, and how all of the different arenas and areas of what we're getting into really support that, or potentially are not aligned with that and do need to be readjusted. And I'm right there with you that I've been doing a lot of thinking around my life, what I want, and how my business will be shaped differently according to the life I want to lead. I love that, Smita. Thank you so much for sharing.
Awesome. So, what's your third point? So, after that, we're going to wrap this up and invite people on the stage if they have any insights. And if they're struggling, maybe we can guide them as well. So, what's your third and last point?
Absolutely. So, my third and last way to put yourself first is to advocate for yourself. So, once you get out there and you're doing your networking, you're doing your reflection about what it is that you want your life and career to truly look like and how those goals match, you really have to actually now start advocating for yourself. You have to start stepping into the workplace and telling your employer, your company, your boss, your team what it is that you need to be the most successful, whole, thriving version of you. I know that in my career, early in my career, I was the yes person. I was the people pleaser. I thought I had to prove myself consistently and constantly. And what that meant was that I was always stretching my boundaries and putting the needs of others above myself. But what I didn't realize is that I wasn't therefore talking about what I needed to be successful. I wasn't putting my goals first. I wasn't advocating for myself, and I was really pushing my career back without even knowing it. So, advocating for yourself is so incredibly important to putting yourself first. And it really does start with that reflection of knowing what it is that you want to achieve, knowing what it is that you want to get, knowing how you want to set boundaries around your time, around your space, around your work, and then really being open and honest with those around you as to what you need to be the most successful version of yourself. And advocating for yourself can sometimes be really scary to do, and it can be a scary conversation to have. But once you start doing it, you will start to see tremendous change in your career path and trajectory, and in that feeling of you putting yourself first. So, Sweta, what do you think about advocating for yourself in the workplace?
You know what? I was Googling what does this mean, right? And I was so surprised. And my third one would be something related with that, but I want to be selfish. And a lot of people, when you're thinking about uh, selfish, it's like, it sounds icky, right? But I do want to be selfish. You know what? Webster dictionary definition of selfish is, guess what? Devoted to or caring only for oneself, concerned primarily with one's own interests, benefits, welfare, etc., regardless of others. I'm thinking sometimes we got to be selfish. And I want to redefine that in 2023. For example, I want to talk to the women out there right now, listening right now. It has happened to me. I don't know if it happened to you as well, Jasmine, especially women of color. You know what? There's a thing called office chores, and we are trying to volunteer. Like, taking a minute, meeting minutes, for example, buying a coffee, planning the events, planning the potlucks, decorating for holiday and stuff like that. And expectations, right? I want women to be selfish and not raise the hand on that one anymore if it's not going to be recognized on your performance review. And I've done that, and I'm not going to do that even in this space right now if I have to do it, if it's not going to be something that it's an expectations. I'll do it if I want to, but not to please anybody. And that's going to be my boundaries. The second thing is I'm not going to put my hands up for everything at all because I don't need to be. I'll be very selective. And you know what? The third thing would be being selfish for me would be I'm not going to please everyone. And I know that I'm not made for everybody. It's okay. I'd be fine. I can sleep in peace by doing that. And I'm not going to say, give a reason when I say no. I don't have to feel guilty. I'm not going to give my free time for those who keeps coming back to pick my brain and never appreciates, and there's no gratitude. I'm done with the kindness with those kind of people. And if I'm not invited, I'm not going to go. If they don't tell me, I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to try to fit in as a color person. I'm not a cultural fit. I'm not going to be cultural fit anymore. I want to be cultural ad. I'm not going to try to fit in. I wear my nose ring. I'm going to be damn proud of it. I'm proud about my color. And this is what it's going to be. 2023 is all about me strategically without offending anybody. And you know what? This is going to be new me. What about you, Jasmine?
Okay, so you just dropped like the bombs right now. That was such a beautiful, beautiful combo you just dropped right there. I am so proud of you for stepping into your selfish. And it's interesting because when I was a kid, I was called selfish a lot, and it was always a dirty, gross word. Like, you call someone selfish and it's supposed to be something bad. And I'm really happy that you are reclaiming that word for yourself. And it's something that I reclaimed for myself a while ago, where I said, I don't really care if people think that I'm selfish. There's only me to live this life right now. And I love that you talked about just stepping into the space completely and authentically as you. And it's interesting because it can be really scary as women of color, as people from marginalized communities. It can be really scary to step into a space and feel so freaking confident to just be who you are, because we are cultured, society, all of it tells us that we should be different and we should assimilate. And so I'm so proud of you for saying, absolutely not. I am going to just simply be me. And if I am not your cup of tea, then keep it walking. So I'm all for that in 2023. I'm all for that every single day. And yeah, it was something that I really had to teach myself how to do. And once you step into that power, there is no going back. So really proud of you. I'm all for claiming that word selfish, and yeah, making it all about you, because this is your life to live. So that was wonderful. I loved that rant. I am giving you the biggest clap right now. That was beautiful.
So thank you so much. And you know what? Any job seeker out there, I want to tell you one thing. I know we got to follow up when something happens, when they ghost you or something. You know what? And if you are actually dwelling on it, saying that I got no feedback, I got no response, I want you to take this from today's, which is sometimes no feedback is a feedback, no response is a response. You've done your job, you cannot control it. Let's move on. These are not the right type of people. You want to work with them anyway. And that applies to me as well. If I'm emailing them, if I'm doing something, if I'm done like follow up 3 times, you know what? That's fine. I'm going to move on. This is what life's going to be. And that's going to be me in 2023. And you know what? The other thing I want to end up from my side before I invite people on the stage is, if they wanted to, they could have, they would have. I'll leave it at that. What are your thoughts on that, Jasmine? If they wanted to, they could have.
Absolutely. And the way that I like to try to, when I work with clients who are job seekers, what I really try to tell them is, look, like, they're not just selecting you. You are selecting them. And it's actually more important that you really acknowledge the fact that you are selecting them. So if they disqualify themselves from your space, that's totally fine. That's not meant for you. But continue to stay in your power and in your empowerment, that you are the one who is making the decision here. You live this life, you live this career. It is yours. You are always the one making the decision. So that's what I got to say about that. Is I'm all for it. Yeah, like, let them all go.
Awesome. You know what, audience, thank you so much for hanging around. There are like over 96 people listening. Can you give us heart emojis if you're going to take this away? 3 takeaway. I know we drop a lot of nuggets. Does that apply to you? Are you feeling that, saying no, and then you're feeling guilty, trying to please everybody? And you know what, thinking about, okay, why are they not responding if you're a job seeker, right? As a woman of color, picking those nonsense chores in the corporate world, they're looking up to you and saying, well, it's a woman's job. Do you feel that? You know, those kind of thing. I felt it personally. I'm dropping that based on my own personal experience. Now, again, there's no one size fits all. Your emotions are different. My emotions are going to be different. I am saying it based on my own experience. I'm not going to do it. That's not to say that you should not do it as well. You do you at the end of the day, right? That's a whole strategy behind it in 2023, by not pleasing anybody else. But you need to feel better if you do it as well. Now I'm going to open the stage, and I got someone on the stage already. I'm going to be taking questions. If you have any beautiful insights, if you have 3 takeaways from this, also if you want to drop any 3 golden nuggets, we are taking you. Shruti, you are next. What do you want to add? What was the takeaway from today's session? Unmute yourself.
Hello everyone, I am Shruti. And one thing that my professor in college used to tell me is, Shruti, be assertive. So I was very helpful. My professors used to rely on me for all their chores, and I used to do. I was awarded for that. I was general secretary for the college, and I was doing all the hard work that actually they were supposed to do. And there was only this one professor. Every time she looked at me doing some other work apart from my studies, she used to tell me, Shruti, be assertive. And I never understood that. Today, when I am working in a youth development project, one of the topic that I teach is assertiveness. And at that time, I started reading about it, and I understood what assertiveness is. And it is keeping your self, your choices first, and keeping yourself comfortable, and not just be or do things that others are expecting you to do. And that is one takeaway that I learned in 2022, and I'm trying very hard to implement it in 2023. It is difficult because, yes, I am a people pleaser, but it is very difficult for me to say no. Also, in my personal life, I had someone, and that person also said me the same thing, that stop giving away everything that you have to others. Stop uh, agreeing to what others are saying. It's enough. It's high time that you choose yourself. So, yeah, that is one thing that I wanted to add, that be assertive, guys. We forget a lot of times. We know what being assertive is, but let's remind ourselves to be assertive.
I love
Thank you
it.
so
Thanks.
much.
Thanks, Shruti, for coming in. I love it. You know what? That gives me something. I want you on audience, each of you right now, think about three word for this 2023. And if you can't find the three word, think about that one word that you're going to preach and practice 24/7. I have that for myself for this year. That's dare, DARE. Jasmine, I'd love to hear a thought on it. Like, what's your word if you have it already for this 2023?
Oh gosh, I love that conversation about being assertive. Thank you so much for coming up and reminding us that we all need to reclaim these words that feel and sound dirty. You know, assertive for a woman, especially a woman of color, can feel very intense, right? And because actually, like, when you're called assertive in the workplace as a woman of color, it is used to undermine you. So I am loving this reclaiming of these words, selfishness, assertive, and really putting that stamp on it of, we should be doing this, right? This is what we should be doing to put ourselves first. So thank you so much. So actually, my word for 2023 is surrender. I want to completely surrender to the life that I want to live. I want to surrender to just happiness and health. I want to surrender to just the blessings that come my way, and to seeing things as they are, which is beautiful. I chose the word surrender, and it's really interesting that at the beginning and top of this year, I ended up catching the flu, and I had to just completely surrender and not do anything and basically just sleep for a week. So I think that the universe gave me exactly what I wanted at the start of 2023. So that is my word, and I'm really stepping into this place of just letting the beauty of the world be what it is, and just being able to see it every single day.
That's amazing. You know what, Thomas, before I bring you on the stage, I wanted to add one more thing. What came across my mind when it comes to assertive, I don't know if men's are told they need to be assertive. Women's are like, smile more, be soft spoken. And if you're really assertive, then you're going to be labeled as bossy, right? But the same thing when guys are bossy, they have leadership skills, right? There is a gender gap when it comes to defining the soft skills for women versus men as well. So, and I think I've been there, done that, not anymore. I'm going to be assertive as well. And you know what? I'm going to be proud about it. I'm no more going to be feeling guilty about it. Thomas, what is it what was the takeaway from today's sessions for you? And would you like to add something? Any word?
Sure, thank you. I just wanted to touch on what Jasmine said about 10 minutes ago regarding advocacy and regarding being a yes person, in the past. The two things are important for people to think about, because you got your own life, so you've got to be your own advocate. So, and in relation to being a yes person, if you continue to say yes, you won't be able to advocate yourself. So start saying no. Start saying no and be assertive. And when you're assertive, you're not being aggressive. You're just saying what you want as an individual. Jasmine mentioned she got sick, and she, I think it was relinquished or something like that. I mean, that's a good word. My word is from 2022 is flow, which is kind of similar. So go with the flow, and you'll feel better. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
Oh,
You wanna add
Thomas,
anything?
you picked a word that actually just entered into my space this morning. So I actually watched a video. A friend of mine sent me this beautiful video on Instagram where this gentleman was talking about his word for the year is flow as well, and just letting everything, the goodness of the world, just flow to him, letting all the opportunities just flow to him, just flow. So Thomas, thank you so much for that. What a great addition to the conversation. And yes to claiming assertiveness, and hell yes to flow.
That's amazing. Joy, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Please pronounce your name if I butchered it. Go ahead. What are your insights? What's your one word for this year?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hey, Joey, it's so good to see you up here.
I know. I just gotta say, this is, for me, this is God, because I'm going through some stuff and I just need this women empowerment today. So I'm so glad that I just happened to be driving and noticed that you guys were doing this event, and this is just God today. I'm doing my very first event at a restaurant for my client's 50th birthday celebration, and I'm sorry, but this is just meant to be. So I just wanted to thank you all for putting this show on. I don't have any particular words. Jasmine, I do remember you doing a lot of talks about how people were trying to kind of control who you were in the workplace, about saying how you're too loud and ghetto and all this stuff. And I actually had a conversation with my director the other day, and she complimented me on my work ethic, but she told me, and it reminded me of of some things that you would post on LinkedIn. She told me, be careful, because I'm very personable. And I create a lot of relationships in the workplace with my coworkers because I'm an assistant. And she said, you can be careful, because how you come off, if you're loud, how that comes off to other people. And I was thinking to myself, what? And it just you popped in my mind right when she said it, Jasmine, because I know you've talked a lot about how people were trying to, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jasmine, people are trying to I feel like people are trying to quiet you in your former workplace. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, Joey, and I'm sorry that you experienced that. And yeah, it's just very similar to what did happen to me, where I felt as though it's very similar to what we were talking about with being assertive, being selfish, right? Where, we are told to put ourselves first. We are told to be bold. But at the same time, when we step into the work environment and we really actually then do that, there can be a tremendous amount of backlash that comes with it. So I remember for a very long time in one particular workplace, I remember I was experiencing a lot of toxicity and backlash. And when I tried to put myself first, that was when I actually started to be almost kind of like put in my place and take work taken away from me. So, I want to really empower everyone in this conversation, as you've just heard, to do the thing, to be assertive, to put yourself out there, to be yourself wholly and fully, and let the company show you who they truly are. And if they are not the right ones for you to be the person you need to be, then you got to find yourself another place to be. Because the whole idea and concept here is to thrive and to grow. And if you can't thrive and grow as your authentic self in the space that you're in, then it is not the space for you.
That is amazing. I want to add something before I go to next person. I really love that point, right? If the company is not right for you, if you are not allowed to be yourself. And this is why I tell people, go where you are celebrated, your talent is celebrated, right? And this is where the cultural fit comes in. When the employers are hiring for a cultural fit, they're looking for people just like them. But the cultural fit is outdated now. No, everyone should be a cultural add, because otherwise there's no DEI, there's no diversity, equity, and inclusion whatsoever. If everyone is going to be same person, same ideas, it's not going to work. And I think employers are realizing it, and that's going to be my motto as well. I'm not going to try to fit in. I'm going to go where I'm celebrated, just like me. So Luzian, I'm not sure, please introduce yourself so I didn't mispronounce your name, and go ahead with the insights in one word.
Hi both, my name's Luzian, and my word for this year, well, it started last year really, it would be courage. And the reason why I say that is because, Jasmine, I read one of your blog posts about asking for a raise, and I went ahead and took the courage to ask for a raise, and I got a raise. And it's just empowered me, to go out there and to know that, right, this is my worth, this is what I think my worth is, and to go out there and actually express that to other people. And not only did I get a raise, but I got more than what I asked for. So yeah, definitely have the courage to go for what it is that you want, and to go for what it is that you think you're worth.
Oh my God! Oh my goodness. Everybody needs to be dropping the heart emoji for that one. That is so dope. Oh my, I get literal chills when I hear women of color really saying, like, I got the dough. Like, I got the dough. Because this is how life changes for us, right? When we start getting that money, where we can start creating generational wealth, where we can start being financially free. And where do you get that dough from? You get it from your career, from your job. So you just inspired every single person on this conversation to think about their money in 2023. And I am so proud of you for having the courage and the confidence to go for yours. Thank you so much. That just made my whole day. I love it. Amazing.
That's amazing, right? I live by this legacy. I know that I was promoted in a corporate world, and they had an audacity to come back and change the title. The role was created. I already proved it. I was running the pilot, saved the company millions of dollars. And when the job offer came in, I was preferred candidate. I went through all those things, and they came in on paper. It was the same salary, different title. And I'm like, wait, are you kidding me, right? So I said, well, I don't think this is going to be same. And you know what? If there's no increase on it, I think I'm going to be happy where I am right now. I'm not going to do that strategically, right? And my manager was really cool. My director was really cool. I didn't even say this is what I want. I said, please come back with something that that I deserve it based on my track record. I kid you not, they came back. The answer, inside my body, I was feeling the heat. I was like, I really want that. I really want that, but I didn't show it. But hey, the answer would have been no if I did not ask. I got the good bump. It's like, seriously, you got to ask. What's the worst it could happen? So I want you to take this away today. Anyone who's going to be promoted laterally, I say it's a scam. So ask for it. They would not promote you to do you a favor. They are doing themselves a favor. There's a reason you're getting promoted. Ask. That's the right time to ask. And walk away if you need to. There's no need to be on a lateral promotions with a fancy title. Money is important. Let's talk about money too, right? It's important. What are your thoughts on it? And before I wrap up, anyone comes up on stage, show me your hand. Otherwise, I'm going to be done for today. Jasmine, what are your thoughts on salary negotiations for 2023?
Get your paper, collect your paper. Everybody needs to get their money. I agree 110%. And here's the thing. One of the things that happens a lot is that we kind of we're doing the work. And we're not assessing as we go all of the different wins, all of the different value, all of the different contributions that we are making. And those are the moments where we need to jump in and say, damn, I did that. I need to start talking about, money. I need to start engaging my boss around salary. I need to be talking about my value. I need to be letting everybody know about this contribution. So I want you all to have those reflection points, not just at the start of the year, but even as you are going through the year, to have those moments to say to yourself, what have I done? What value have I contributed? What's changed in my job, right? What's changed? How have I up-leveled? How have I done something differently? That's a point where you can start talking about your money and advocating for it.
That's amazing. Pushkar Raj, if I'm pronouncing it, go for it.
Yeah, I'll make life easy for all of you. You can call me Push, short and sweet.
Okay, Push, go ahead. What are your insights today, and what's one word?
Wow. So basically, the entire process of this audio event was so insightful. So I'll quickly share by keeping time in mind. I started my journey after the markets opened after COVID. That is after 2022, right? So now I lost my job in COVID. So when the markets opened, I already had a career gap. My qualifications were too overqualified, and second, I had my age to work on. In the sense, I'm 40 plus. So now when I used to go and attend interviews, I used to reach the final stage, but oh sir, we cannot do this, that. I attended around about 400 interviews. I got fed up, okay, in a positive way. Now what I did through this is I formed my own company without a clue of what to do, when to do, how to do, but I took that step. I'm now the founder of my company, and I'm happy to share that I'm working on a project of mine where now, Sweta, you must be knowing, or Jasmine, you must be knowing, there are a lot of programs for employee engagement, customer delight, how to be a good employee, how to be a good vice versa. But I am planning to open one of the channels where I'm going to be coaching, mentoring the higher management, CEOs, directors, and all, because I think this is a bold step. Huh? I'm very nervous. I have sleepless nights as well, wherein I'm going to tell the above management people that it's been rusted. You're positive, your mindset is amazing, but somewhere down the line we have become a turtle. So I'm taking this step, and I just wanted to share this, that yes, I'm nervous, yes, I am shivering, but at the end of the day, my intentions are telling me I'm going to get that raise as a co-founder, as a founder, as a director. So I just wanted to share this with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for taking that guts. And you know what? If you're saying you're old at 40, come on, we're not old. I'm 42. Like, I quit my job around late 80, like late 30, and then I founded this company. Let's not put the 40 at like old. We're not old. Even 70 years old, not old. Dreams are never old, buddy. Like, you got this. Okay. Thanks for coming in. Dan, what's your insight? What's your takeaway? And what's that one word?
Yeah, so supportive would be my one word. And having worked at Microsoft as well as other full-time positions, I would agree. The lateral move just seems like a real career limiting move. as opposed to getting something along with the title, the fancy title. And in returning to Microsoft, one thing that I did was with salary negotiation, I didn't give them a number. I didn't give them my previous number when I had left. I didn't give them a number a little higher. I just said, what would you suggest for somebody with my experience and abilities? And let them play the card first so that you can negotiate from there, as opposed to throwing out a number which might be low or something that they can't achieve that they don't have budget for.
That's my kind of guy right there, right there. Jasmine, do you want to add something? Thanks, Dan, for coming in. I appreciate it.
I love that piece of advice, Dan. Yeah, because one of the things that I notice a lot with my clients is, unfortunately, they are underselling themselves when it comes to money and when it comes for asking for money. So I love Dan's approach of being like, show me the money. What was that movie, Jerry Maguire, where it was just like, show me the money, you know, tell me what you've got. So put your cards on the table. So I think that's a great and very empowering way to step into this conversation about salary. Love that, Dan.
Awesome. So we have a last guest, and I'm going to wrap this up. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Kiwoba Alaire, and thank you so much for this forum. This is amazing. Starting my 2023 off right with you ladies. Thank you. Thank you. Standing in agreement with this discussion on salary, one of my advisors told me, never, 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 just like Dan said, say how much you used to make at another company, or if they say, what is your, what salary are you expecting? You say, my advisors always, tell me to ask, what is the salary range that the company is offering? Then when they tell you the salary range, then you can come in, obviously, at the highest part of that range.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for your insight. And I love that as well. What are your thoughts on it? I think we preach that as well as a career consultant.
Absolutely. 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 Yes, 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 yes. Always, always have them be the ones that, again, show you the money and talk to you about it. And there can be some really aggressive recruiters and people out there really asking you, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And the best thing is to take this advice that you're hearing here and really turn the tables and flip the tables back on them. Keep the power in your hands. And that's a great way to do it.
Perfect. Dan, you going to wrap this up for us? Go ahead.
Yeah, if they push you for that, say that you're used to 6 figures. That doesn't say 100,000. That doesn't say 999,000. It just gives them a range that you expect to be in the 6 figures. That's what I've done in the past.
Lovely. Thank you so much for wrapping this up. Now, people, thank you so much for coming in. And I don't know if you know, this is being streaming live on YouTube as well. You can go and watch the replay. I would love for you to take a screenshot and then, put 3 takeaways or 1 word at least in 2023 and tag both of us on your LinkedIn post or Twitter or whatever it is, so you can make an impact somehow indirectly to let people know, hey, it's okay. 3 ways to put ourselves first in 2023. It's going to be okay. So 3 takeaway, tag us. We'll hop in as well. I'm going to close this for us, for inviting. In the interest of time, we have a hard stop. And then, I want you to know that it's okay to be selfish and it's okay to put ourselves first in 2023. Before I wrap this up, Jasmine, do you have anything to add for 30 seconds?
I just love this conversation so much. I love how we took it from the ways to put yourself first. We've got some money tips, some ways to make ourselves, really shine out there, to be assertive, to be selfish. And so I really want all of you to claim this year, every single day, as your highest, as your most confident, as your best self. And I want to hear from all of you. And please definitely, follow me as well and DM me if you have any questions.
That's amazing. So go ahead and follow Jasmine. She's one of the LinkedIn top voice, career and confidence coach for women of color. And you know what? 62 people staying in, and there are a lot of people hopping in. It's over 500 drop-ins and audio live. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, everybody, everybody. Mark, Ashley, Apurva, Mary, Philippe, good to see you. Angelica, Tiffany, Thirupati, Patricia, I know you couldn't come in, but we'll get to you next Friday maybe. I do this Friday at 11 a.m. audio live. And if you want to show up for the topic like this, please show up. All you got to do is follow me for notifications and show up and be on the stage and share your insight. Camellia Chandler, I'm going to butcher the name, but I'm going to do it because I want to make sure that you actually get this. You're staying in here for us, right? Tanele, Trinity, Gustavo, Ivana, Malbogo, Kiboa, Ba, Sakira, Mohan, Bukola, Mutasem, Shuvas, Tamara K, Pavitra, Stacy, Jacqueline, Jeanette, Rajiv, Bubala, Gewali R, Donna, Krishna, Pavitra, Anne, Gabriela, Joy. It's jumping everywhere. I think people are coming and going, so I can't even go and then do this. Michael, Lucy, Teresa, Jeffrey, Ron, Harbor, Vinara, Maria, Megan, Saji, Kiran, Jatinder, Bharat, Balakrishna, Dawn, Annie, Kiran, Saji, Megan, Jatinder. Everyone's coming and going right now. Pavlo. All right. Thank you so much. One more last time. Thumbs up. You going to do this? Put yourself first in 2023. Give us a thumbs up, everybody. And 1, 2, 3, we are done. We're out. I'll see you Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming live from Canada, right here. Sweta Regmi. I teach career strategy to immigrants in Canada and laid off survivors. Love you all. Bye, everybody.